मैं सभी दिल्ली वासियों को तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने तीसरी बार अपने बेटे पे भरोसा किया। आई लव यू।
And I think what is really remarkable about this election is the fact that a lot of it is they went to the election all on the basis of their achievements. What did they talk about going into the elections? They talked about schools. When was the last time schools and the performance and how they've improved government schools was a talking point in the election? I can't really remember that one. And of course, they had their populist bits as well. The free travel for women, that became a huge talking point. But I think one of the number one thing that really kind of became a huge stumbling block for the opposition in Delhi was the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party had very successfully offered free water and also free electricity to an extent. These were incredibly popular. These were things that people were seeing make a difference in their daily lives. And so for the Aam Aadmi Party, it's really brought in dividends. They have come back with a major majority, a complete sweep of the elections they've done. They've also now got major credentials because they've beaten the BJP when they really had their top guns, fielding in Delhi. They had the Prime Minister, Amit Shah, all of them camping out over here, doing numerous kind of meetings. You had the new party president, JP Nadda, as well. So politically, the Aam Aadmi Party is stronger than ever. Of course, will it also mean that they'll venture out to other areas? That actually remains challenging still. We don't see a roadmap for that. We've really seen Aam Aadmi Party stay silent on larger issues, speak very, very kind of subtly on the issue of nationalism, and in the CAA matter, they didn't want to upset many core voters of the BJP as well, wanting to get them in if they were coming that side. So how it actually measures up for them going national is something that we have to wait and see. But all in all, an incredible election for the Aam Aadmi Party.
I think this is a remarkable victory for the Aam Aadmi Party. Remember, this is a party that was just formed 7 years ago. It is confined largely to Delhi. If it had lost, imagine a scenario where the Aam Aadmi Party lost, it would have been a battle for survival. It would have struggled to continue in the form that it does today. The victory itself shows that the AAP's campaign, which revolved largely around its governance track record, its improvement of public schools, its improvement of public health, the provision of electricity and water at subsidized rates, free public transport for women, got a resounding mandate and got resounding support from the citizens of Delhi. So I think it shows faith in Arvind Kejriwal and his emergence as a leader who was not a leader who just emerged for, as a one-time fluke, but who's going to remain in Indian politics for a long time. It also shows that the politics of performance, as AAP put it, does, and a positive campaign can help win votes.
The message from the voters of Delhi is that, and I think it's the same message that the voters of Maharashtra, the voters of Jharkhand and the voters of Haryana also had, is it's a local election. Let's talk about issues which really change our lives, and that is power, roads, education, schools. I think that's really the clear message, and that's why it is an encouraging result for citizens and for regular people, because it's about improving lives. That's really what we're seeing over here. I think the last time that we saw that this kind of a performance-based result was when Sheila Dikshit was voted back again. So the message is very clear for the BJP. They, of course, perhaps we have to wait and see whether they will take the lessons as such. They feel it works for them nationally. These are the same kind of issues which worked for them in the Lok Sabha election. But overall, when they're looking at local elections, assembly elections, the message is very clear that even though Shaheen Bagh talk about an issue and minority rights vis-a-vis majority rights, that may become a talking point, that may grab the headlines. However, people are very clever and they know that they're going to vote to improve their lives.
No, I think it is because largely of the campaign that they ran in the last 3 weeks, the BJP suffered from a severe deficit at the local level in terms of a local face which could take on Arvind Kejriwal. There was rampant factionalism within the party. Now, when Amit Shah came in and began energetically running a campaign which was largely based on demonizing Shaheen Bagh and alleging that AAP was supporting Shaheen Bagh and suggesting that an electoral victory for other parties would result in strengthening of Pakistan. I think that is a campaign that resonated with a section of the city's voters. The BJP, remember, in 2015, even when it had got 3 seats, it got about 32-33% of the vote. And while vote share figures at the moment are not final, it does look like their vote share has actually increased a little bit. So I think that this campaign, a campaign, divisive campaign, a campaign that often descended into hate speech, and the Election Commission pulled up a few leaders of the party for it, has helped the party retain its core base and probably expand it a little. But I think there is a lesson also. Polarization in itself is not sufficient. And that is why the BJP has fallen so severely short, because here it did not have a local face. It was competing against a party which had delivered on governance partially, if not substantially, and the party which relying only on dividing the votes primarily on ideological or religious lines was banking on probably a flawed strategy.
The Congress, now that is a tough one. I think, they're talking about the fact right now that they made a strategic decision, took the back seat. However, that is not very convincing. One of the things that even if they didn't win any seats, because they've gone from scoring one duck in 2015 to yet again failing to have even one particular seat in this entire election, even though they had the Gandhis and all their old veteran leaders coming out to campaign. In fact, there is quite a lesson over here. Aam Aadmi Party was always the front runner, but just look at the way the Congress kind of campaign and compare it to how BJP went all out. You had everyone doing 3,000 meetings, you had people going door to door. They really put it out there, which is not what we can say for the Congress, which really didn't have anything new to offer. So the Congress, I think, really has to do some introspection. They may think that Maharashtra is a result which showed, and Jharkhand and others show that they can't be written off. But I think what they need to figure out is they can't really go by what happened in Maharashtra and Haryana. Haryana, yes, because that was about Bhupender Hooda and not by the Congress as an organization. So they really need to think about what they can do as an organization, about having fresh blood. These are some of the things that the Congress party really needs to think about if they want to continue their legacy as a grand old party.
This is an election that, of course, signals that Congress is in coma, right? It's difficult now to think about it, but do remember that this was a city that was governed by the Congress for 15 straight years from 1998 to 2013, and this would be the second election where it looks like the Congress would have got 0 seats. Actually, if you look back from 2014, this is the 5th election where the Congress has done badly in the city. It lost in 2014, it lost in 2015, it lost in the municipal elections in 2017, it lost in 2019, and now it is lost again. So if this does not represent an existential crisis for the party, I don't know what does. And I think there are three broad explanations for it. The first is that the Congress local leadership, both the Congress national leadership and the local leadership, did not inspire. Right? Rahul Gandhi addressed a few rallies, but clearly he does not have a connect with the electorate of Delhi. The party leadership at the state level has not been able to transition after Sheila Dikshit's exit. We have seen that Subhash Chopra and Kirti Azad now run the party in Delhi, and neither of them have been inspiring figures. The second problem is agenda. You know, AAP stood for a certain kind of development and governance paradigm. BJP, and one can critique that campaign, stood for a kind of nationalism. What did Congress stand for? And no, Delhi voters did not know. And the third was Congress's social base is depleted entirely. Muslims, the poor, the Dalits have all moved, it seems, to AAP, while the middle class, which they used to vote for the Congress, especially during the Sheila Dikshit years, has moved to the BJP. So, you know, it has no leader, it has no agenda, and it has no social base in Delhi. And recovering from this will be a very, very hard task. I think Delhi's politics, which was triangular between AAP, BJP and Congress, has now turned decisively bipolar between the BJP and AAP.